Hey everybody, my name is Dave. I am an alcoholic. I'm thinking about my sobriety, and I've been thinking about it a lot lately because some really good things have been taking place in my life, and I want to share those good things. So if you're having hope, a lack of hope, discontent, if you're just not seeing a brighter picture and maybe you're struggling, all different kinds of things that we can struggle with in the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. There's so many things. We still have to deal with all the things of life, relationships, health, love, money, all these different things. And then we also have to quit drinking. We have to learn this new way of life, right? That doesn't include numbing ourselves with alcohol. And that was a hard thing for me to do. I remember I'm going to go all the way back to say 2015, when I was first introduced to the program of AA and actually went to a meeting, because I had known about AA 2 years before that. I had actually purchased a big book 2 years before I went to my first meeting, knowing deep inside of myself that I had a problem. I knew that I had something that needed to be fixed in here. And I knew alcohol was driving me crazy, but I didn't know how to fix it. Who goes out and buys a big book of Alcoholics Anonymous if they don't think they have a drinking problem? And I had never even been to a meeting. So 2 years later, I'm actually going to my first meeting. But at that point, I had read some of the book, talked myself out of the program, told myself, I'm not as bad as these people in this book. I mean, they're out of control. They're insane. I was out of control too. It's just that we like to see ourselves in a better light, or at least I did at that point in my life. I wanted to see myself in a better light. So of course I'm going to minimize what I'm doing, and I'm going to maximize what somebody else is doing so I can compare myself and say, they're crazy, they're down here. But I'm up here, I'm a little bit higher than them, like they're completely fucked, but I'm just way below average, right? So that's my excuse for not wanting to go to a meeting. But I went to a meeting. This is the beautiful part. This is the miracle. I went to a meeting and something clicked inside. Something that told me I could do it. Something that changed in me. It's a spiritual experience. It's what they talk about in the program. I didn't even know I had one, because I hadn't heard about having a spiritual experience and that you need to have a spiritual awakening in the program of AA in order to succeed in not only quitting drinking but living a happy life. I didn't even know about that. But I look back now and I can say I had the spiritual experience at that meeting, and I can tell you exactly when it was. It was when we all joined hands and said the Lord's Prayer. I felt a way that I had never felt before in my life. I felt a connection to something greater than myself. I felt something that I couldn't describe. And all I know is that it felt good, it gave me hope, and it made me say to myself, I think I can do this. I think I can do this thing. I don't have to be afraid. I've got assistance. I've got connection from a group of people who are experiencing the same thing and who have succeeded in overcoming that thing destroying their life, aka alcoholism. And I can learn from these people. And these people are willing to share with me, to give me hope and strength and beauty. I felt something that I didn't know existed. And it was positive for me to unlock that in my mind. So what I tell the newcomer is, if you haven't felt it yet, just stay a little bit longer. Stay for another day. Stay for another week. Stay for another month. Keep talking to people. Keep coming back. Keep sharing any part of your story that you can share. And embrace the spiritual experience. Look for the spiritual experience. because it is there and it will come. And it unlocks this new way of living, this new way of thinking. That the focus isn't so much on you, but it's now on the outside. Maybe something that you could do for somebody else. Something as simple as like telling somebody they're doing great today. Just that simple. It doesn't even have to be another alcoholic. It's good if it is, but it doesn't have to be. Maybe just telling your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your son or your daughter, just telling them you're doing great today. Or have a good day today. Be your best out there and good things will happen to you. And that comes back to you. See, because there's a saying that the more you give, the more you get. But the more you get in life, material possessions, the more you want. Because material possessions can never fill the hole that was created in my mind through alcoholism. They just, no amount of money or possessions or even relationships or people or whatever could fill the void like the way my friends in the group of Alcoholics Anonymous, okay, fill the hole in my life that it was caused by alcoholism, because we all share this common problem. We're all getting over the same problem. We're all overcoming it. And we all strengthen each other, because when we're all there, we are in congregation. And even if there's some people that maybe don't even talk or get along. I've seen AAs who don't even get along with each other, who really don't even like each other, but they can sit in the same room because they're sharing this problem. This problem connects us. This gift, I call it a gift because for me it was a gift. Maybe somebody else calls it a curse or something else, but I call it a gift. This gift connects me to other alcoholics and to the world. That's what it does for me. It connects me in a way and fills a void that I have never felt a filling for, a way to fill. I've always felt a void in my life, a loneliness, a lack of connection, which was why I drank in the first place. I've always felt that void. You know, there's some type of fear inside of me, a fear of talking to people, a fear of not being accepted, a fear of like social anxiety due to, oh, what's this person going to think of me? What if they laugh at me? I'll be humiliated. You know, I'm scared. You know, you're just scared. You don't even know why sometimes. But you just know that you're reluctant. You know that you're like hesitant. You don't want to say anything. That's how I grew up. I grew up as a kid, like I just kept my mouth shut so people wouldn't laugh at me, or people wouldn't, you know, say bad things about me, or I wouldn't be humiliated, because I thought if I opened my mouth, see, I had been picked on so much when I was a little kid. I had been picked on so much that I just kept my mouth shut because that didn't give them any ammunition to fire back at me, you know, mental ammunition. So like they couldn't pick on me if I didn't say anything. So I was the shy, quiet kid. But that hurts you when you do that. See, you're now compromised living in that way, that fearful way. And then you start doing that in all other areas of your life. So I found alcohol, and all of a sudden I'm like, hey, I'm not afraid anymore. Now I can say whatever I want. People can laugh at me, and I just laugh at myself with them. Like somehow that made laughing at me easier because I just didn't give a shit, really. Alcohol numbed my brain. It made it so I didn't give a shit. So if you picked on me and laughed at me, I was just like, whatever, fuck you. And I laughed, ha 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 ha, and I'll go over here and drink, and I don't give a shit. That's what alcohol did to me. But then I took my life back when I found a program that superseded whatever alcohol could give me, because they say alcohol is like a deal with the devil, because it might give you what you want in the short term, but there comes a day when the devil requires his payment back, and that payment is to take your soul, your life, everything, your values, everything that you love, everything that you care about, all gone and destroyed, and you're even worse off than when you started. Like in the beginning, I was just shy, but now I'm depleted. Now I'm depressed. Now I want to kill myself. I want to end it all because I feel so horrible. But I'm stuck with this problem where I have to continue to drink just to get myself back up to zero because I'm in the negative. And that's as high as I'm going to get, is maybe zero, maybe -1, right? That's why it's a deal with the devil. I heard somebody put it so perfectly one time. They said, alcohol took me and said, you and me, son, we are gonna go far. And alcohol said, I'm gonna silence all those voices in your head. But a day will come when I stop silencing those voices in your head and I magnify them by 10x. And at that point, you are ready to kill yourself. In some cases, people kill themselves when it gets that bad. It's a deal with the devil, right? But there is one who can save us, and that one is God. When we find that spiritual connection, all of that emptiness inside of us goes away. When we learn how to live a spiritual life that is not driven by how am I going to get high or drunk today, we start to live a life where we're like, how could I help somebody today? Hey, maybe I could go out and help somebody today. Maybe I could just help a little old lady cross the street. And that fills you up. That feeling of service, giving to someone else. Maybe having a conversation with a friend who's having a hard time, and you have a conversation with them, and it just turns their life around. It just puts them in a better mood, a better spiritual place, where they can overcome their problem. Service is the key. That is what we base our program of AA on. That's what I base my life on. I used to have 4 values. 4 values that are very important to me in life. Just 4 things that we all need in life. Health, wealth, love, and success. That was the 4 things. But I learned recently to change success to service. So now I want health, wealth, love, and service. Because without service, I can't have health, wealth, and love. See, it's just like today. I was outside, I went for a run, and it's windy here on the beach. And somebody's recycle bin had tipped over. Cans of cat food, empty cans, cat food cans are flying down, all the way down the street. I mean, it just looked terrible. And my first thought was, I need to run back to my house, right? And my run's over. I'm done running now. I'm walking back to my house. I'm like, let me go back to the house and get a bag so I can pick all this stuff up. And I don't need somebody to ask me to do it. And I don't need somebody to go, oh, thank you so much for doing that. You're the best. I don't need that. What I need is to know that I'm serving something. I'm not even serving I don't even know the people whose garbage tipped over. It's not like they're my friends and I feel like I need to do that for them. I don't care if I know them or not, or like them or not, or who they are or who they aren't. None of that matters to me. The service that I'm providing is I'm cleaning up my neighborhood. I'm doing it for all the people that live here because everyone's affected by these cans blowing down the street. I don't want to live in a neighborhood that's just got trash blowing down the street. And I'm sure none of my other neighbors do either. So I'm just going to clean it up. I'm going to take it upon myself. And even better, I don't know if anybody even saw me doing it, so that way I don't get caught, because my first sponsor taught me, do a good turn for somebody else and don't get caught. Because that's true service. If I'm out there doing service to have somebody go, oh, thank you so much, you're the best. We love you, Dave. See, if that's why I'm doing it, to get that, well, that's not true service. It's not like you shouldn't get congratulated or recognized for doing something good. You should, but I want to do something that nobody knows about. So I try to keep a couple things a week, maybe one thing a day, that I just do for somebody else, for the good of the world, just for the benefit, and I don't need any accolades or any recognition for it. It's just something I did. Because you know what? I don't need to be paid for it either. The payment comes from God. The payment for me, this is my belief, is the part of a spiritual process. That's the payment. The payment is spiritual currency, not worldly currency, dollar bills, money. It's spiritual currency. So I get blessed in my life because I'm creating blessings in the lives of others. If I give out 10 blessings, I get a blessing. So I'm going to give out 10 more blessings, and I'm going to get another blessing. And then when I see the return on that, who knows? I've heard some people say, if you give out one blessing, you'll get 10 blessings, right? Tenfold? Maybe it works like that. I don't know. I just know when I do good things come back. And for me, that's enough. Because I love my Creator. The God that I have chosen, right? My higher power, which we all have the opportunity to choose for ourselves in the program of AA. That higher power for me is a God who loves me and cares about me no matter what I do. He forgives me if I do wrong because I know I'm going to make mistakes. I know I'm going to fuck things up. It's okay. He forgives me. He loves me. I'm one of His children. He created me. He gave me a purpose. He gave me a second chance at life. He said, I see that you screwed your entire life up with alcohol and drugs and bad decisions, and I'm going to give you another chance because I think that you're worth more than that. That's what God says to me. I think, Dave, you are worth more than that. And I'm going to tell you, I think you, who's watching this right now, if you're experiencing any hardship in your life, you are worth more than that. You have that. It is within you to do more, to have more, to be more, to give more service, and to have all the blessings flow in on you. Because that's how God works. That's my higher power. God and Jesus Christ. Because that's what I love, and that's what I choose. I don't ask anybody else to believe it, but I'd be more than willing to tell them about it if they ask me. I'm not going to force it on you, but that is what I believe because it makes the most sense to me in my mind through my experience and through my journey of everything I've seen in my life and everything I've seen others go through. That's what makes the most sense to me. So that's just a tidbit of my story, of my philosophy. I hope that you were able to hear something new, maybe just something that would just turn you on or change your life. Something that you can share with somebody else, something that may help another person. I want to see you share a gift. This is my way of sharing. This is just something I love to do. And I'd love to hear how you love to share or what you love to do in your life or what turns you on in terms of service and sharing and gifts that you think that you can give to the world, because that's where all the beauty lies. When we learn to give more service and we learn to trust in something greater than ourselves, miraculous things happen. They just come to us. And it's a great life. This life that I've been living for the past 6 years of sobriety in Alcoholics Anonymous, it started out pretty slow. It was kind of rough in the beginning, a little bit, although I felt 10 times better. It was still a little bit rough in terms of life. But every year, when I look back year over year, there is an increase. And it's not to say that there's never a hard time, but there's always a solution. There's always a way to get through it. And I'm telling you, I can flip through the 12 steps and I can see opportunities and ways to make it through every single problem and difficulty that I experience in my life. So I heard Danny Trejo say, there's no wrong way to work the 12 steps. If you're working the 12 steps, you're not doing it wrong. You're just doing it. You're learning, you're growing, you're becoming new every single day. So I encourage you to just stay in the fight no matter where you are. If you're having, I hope this video brought peace to you. I hope it gave you some enlightenment, maybe some encouragement. I hope it gave you what you need in this day, because I love to give back. And you can leave me any comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more great content like this. I don't know if it's great or not. It feels good to me to give. And all I can give is my experience. I have nothing more to give than the experience that I've had in my life, and just to share what happened to me. So with that, I say, see you later.